Welcome, I am Gray the Dot, and these are my reviews of 2015. Hope you have a pleasant listening experience. I fucking hate this movie. Every second kills me just a little bit more than the last, and I still can't say it's a bad movie, cause it's not. When the movie's done, and you think about how painful it was to watch, you suddenly realize how much the movie had to say about social issues. And how scenes that seem random and pointless are connected and have meaning in a larger context. But I still fucking hate this movie. I didn't write anything for Clerks. This rating is based on my childhood memories of the movie and not actually watching it. I'm not going to lie. Every single time Samurai Cop shot his gun, I got a boner. His face is just fucking hilarious every single time. In retrospect, this could possibly be misinterpreted. Long story. I'm having a hard time with this movie. Great actors, great effects, it doesn't tell an interesting story, and there's nothing about the cinematography that's better than okay. The main reason I don't care or like this movie is because I can't relate to any of the characters. They're just too average and normal for me to care about them when they're facing danger. And it's not the actors' fault. They're selling the hell out of it. I dislike it because it's the opposite of what most truly great Norwegian movies are about. Extraordinary people experiencing normal things. This is just more normal people experiencing extraordinary things. Now, this makes me kind of sad, because the first one, Extraordinary Thus Normal, is something that's been unique to Norwegian movies for a long time, and this just isn't unique. Short story, it's not bad, it's not good, it wasn't worth my time, and I'm pretty sure it's not worth yours. Well, I cried. My biggest complaint about this movie is that I can't believe the world would send all remaining plant life into space for protection while they fix the planet, give up, tell the most undedicated crew ever to nuke the plants, and they just go, yeah, finally we can go home. Now these guys have been tasked to save the last remaining plant life and animal life in the world, and except for our main character, they don't care. It's so unreal and stupid. Other than that, good effects, good acting, pro-Earth, pro-life, pro-plants. The robots are like adorable handicapped people. Haven't rewatched this since I was 7 or 8, and OMG, the body count. So many people die, it's unsettling. They drown, they explode, they get shot, they get stabbed. It's ridiculous. Recommended. It was fun. This movie is one half unexciting and one half campy fun. The best way to rate a comedy is to ask yourself, did I laugh? Yes, I did. Bad, but not awfully bad. More like awkwardly bad. This was disturbing, but I've heard that's the point of exploitation, so I won't fault it for that. The real problem with the movie is that when it's not disturbing, it's boring. I did not know this was a sequel before I watched it, and it feels like I missed out on some context. The title is an inside joke. In the movie, they're making the exploitation movie Inside the Whore. The twist is, behind the scenes, everything is real, so they basically do horrible things to the cast. I watched the Norwegian dub, and OMG, no Norwegians talk like this in the real world. I doubt watching the original cast would have made the movie any better. Watching this did give me a brilliant idea. Since everything looks like a crappy doll set you buy at the store, why not make a Barbie movie in stop motion using real Barbie dolls and playsets, TM? Gets better every time. Enjoyment, 10 out of 10. Technical execution, 8 out of 10. Taken 2. It doesn't take a step above, nor does it falter below the original. And while the pitch remains the same, the overall narrative structure is different enough for it to not feel like the first one again. Overall enjoyment, 8 out of 10. Technical quality, 8 out of 10. I don't know. I fell asleep. Overall enjoyment, question mark out of 10. Technical execution, question mark out of 10. I haven't felt this insulted by my own culture since that one episode of Star vs. the Forces of Evil with the Scandinavian exchange student. And I loved it. My entire region was summarized by one mustache policeman that can only say Rosenborg. It's fitting, offensive, and true. Overall enjoyment, 7 out of 10. Technical execution, 6 out of 10. Overall enjoyment, 9 out of 10. Technical execution, 7 out of 10. This is a fun little movie, though I wouldn't say it has any high quality animation. The Norwegian dub is so bad it's fun, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounded like every single sound was added in translation. It's the best explanation I have for there being scenes without sound, awkward timing, and strange sound effects. Overall enjoyment, 6 out of 10. Technical execution, 4 out of 10. Overall enjoyment, 8 out of 10. Technical execution, 8 out of 10. Overall enjoyment, 6 out of 10. Technical execution, 4 out of 10. Overall enjoyment, 4 out of 10. Technical execution, 4 out of 10. Overall enjoyment, 8 out of 10. Technical execution, 10 out of 10. Overall enjoyment, 9 out of 10. Technical execution, 8 out of 10. Well, that was above and beyond my expectations, and the only reason why is because it does the zombie thing better than the average zombie thing. Overall enjoyment, 8 out of 10, that was fun. Technical execution, 9 out of 10, impressive. Does it make sense? 7 out of 10 most of the time, but not always. Overall enjoyment, 9 out of 10. Technical execution, 6 out of 10. Does it make sense? 10 out of 10. Acting, 5 out of 10. The guy that plays the Punisher is actually kind of awful. Everybody else is decent or better. Not counting the kids, they are awful too. This movie is actually very ambiguous of the Punisher's morals and if what he does is right or wrong. What surprised me was how similar it is to Punisher Warzone, and I literally mean they do the exact same thing. Only difference being that Warzone was brutal and gory, had great actors having a great time, and zero noticeable instances of bad editing. The movie also tries really hard not to show you anything too violent or bloody, which is disappointing considering this is the Punisher and killing people violently is kind of his thing. It's not that bad though. It's just awkward for the camera to move away when something violent could possibly be happening off screen. What I'm saying is I recommend this 80s action movie starring the Punisher, even though it could have starred any 80s action hero and been the same. Warzone is better. Overall enjoyment, 8 out of 10. Technical execution, 10 out of 10. Does it make sense? 2 out of 10. Overall enjoyment, 9 out of 10. Technical execution, 10 out of 10. Does it make sense? 7 out of 10. Overall enjoyment, 7 out of 10. Technical execution, 8 out of 10. Does it make sense? 7 out of 10. Does it make sense? No out of 10. Overall enjoyment, 6 out of 10. Technical execution, 3 out of 10. Soundtrack, AC/DC out of 10. Overall enjoyment, 8 out of 10. Technical execution, 7 out of 10. Does it make sense? 7 out of 10. Overall enjoyment, 3 out of 10. Technical execution, 4 out of 10. Actors, 4 out of 10. Does it make sense? Sure, out of 10. The only way to survive killer tentacle monsters is to get drunk. Sounds like a silly, funny, and campy movie to me. No, it actually tries to be serious, dramatic, and scary. Overall enjoyment, 7 out of 10. Technical execution, 6 out of 10. Actors, 5 out of 10. Does it make sense? Shrugs, out of 10. Enjoyment extracted, 7 out of 10. Technical execution, 6 out of 10. Acting, 4 out of 10. Does it make sense? Up to a certain point, out of 10. Is it scary? 6 out of 10. I might as well repost my review of the first one, so I will, with minor adjustments. Enjoyment extracted, 7 out of 10. Same. Technical execution, 7 out of 10. Improved. Acting, 6 out of 10. Vastly improved. Does it make sense? I realized it never will, and I'm only on part 2. Out of 12. Is it scary? 6 out of 10, the same. Enjoyment extracted, 7 out of 10. Technical execution, more wires and dusty camera lenses than I can count, out of 10. Acting, the lowest point, 2 out of 10. Highest point, 5 out of 10. Does it make sense? I stopped caring. Is it scary? This is actually the first movie where Jason wears his mask, and I have to say he's not as scary as in his bag mask or Mama Voorhees. But I believe that at this point it's gonna be more about creative kills than scares, and I'm cool with that. 5 out of 10. My one major complaint about the movie is that they bundle up mostly all the kills to the second half of the movie instead of spreading them out evenly. Making the exact same movie 4 times in a row shouldn't be a good thing, and it's not. It's just that I'm 4 movies in and none of them have been notably better than the other. They're pretty much the same movie with a new cast every time, but despite that, the final chapter might just be the best Friday the 13th movie. Because if someone asked me which Friday movie we should see, I'd say, it doesn't matter, they're all the same. Only difference is that I couldn't spot any wires or shit on the lens in the 4th. And for once, all the actors were okay, instead of okay or awful. Jason kills evenly throughout the movie, unlike part 3, his kills are getting funnier, and I'm sure I would have been scared had I seen this one first. It says the final chapter, but fuck that, it clearly sets up a sequel, 8 in fact, depending on how you count. I didn't write anything. I forgot to log this one. I think this is my favorite only because a giant conscious zombie is fighting a psychic teenage girl. Alternate title, Friday the 13th, part 7, Jason vs. Carrie. Worst one? Maybe. But what is truly wonderful and makes this movie worth watching is when Jason ignores everybody he could be killing just to chase 2 he wants to kill through Times Square and the subway. And when they scream or ask for help, people are just like, oh, this is New York, get used to it. I can't do it in New York. Titles more fitting than Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason on a boat, Jason on a bigger boat, Jason by the pier, Jason in some back alleys, Jason on a train, Jason in Times Square, Jason in a sewer. I might not like this movie, but I appreciate it for trying something new and different. There's a lot of cool stuff in this movie, but cool stuff in a movie doesn't make a good movie. I think the problem is that the movie isn't scary. All the previous Fridays were scary to some extent. Here it's not a giant masked dude killing people, it's just regular dudes possessed by Jason killing people, and that's not scary. Instead, they ramped up the gore effects, finally sticking it to the Motion Picture Association of America. Every single Friday up to this one was trimmed down in the kill effects department, and getting rid of that crutch is a good thing. But remember, gorier does not equal scarier. The absolutely best thing about this movie is the Necronomicon cameo and that final shot teasing Freddy vs. Jason. Truly a B-movie classic. In summary, it's like they wanted to make an Alien knockoff, but miscast the Xenomorph with Jason and just rolled with it. Crystal Lake Memories, the complete history of Friday the 13th. It's really strange that a documentary about the Friday the 13th franchise is better than most movies in that franchise. Also possibly the longest movie ever made. 400 minutes? That's a little shit. I'm sorry it took me 9 months, but what does shit mean? Enjoyment extracted, 9 out of 10. Technical execution, 9 out of 10. Acting, 9 out of 10. Does it make sense? Bible out of 10. This movie contains 2 very important elements that contribute to its success. Bloody violence and naked women. Enjoyment extracted, 8 out of 10. Technical execution, 7 out of 10. Acting, varied. Does it make sense? The overarching story does make sense. But there are also scenes that make no sense. I laughed. I just didn't laugh hard. Out of curiosity, I tried the Norwegian dub, and to my surprise, it was good. Awkward but good, mostly because it's hilarious to hear them curse like fuck compared to the English. Miffin boy. My emotions have been touched. But that doesn't change the fact that E.T. is a lot uglier than I remember. Enjoyment extracted, 10 out of 10. Technical execution, 10 out of 10. Acting, 10 out of 10. Does it make sense? 10 out of 10. This is just good filmmaking. Enjoyment extracted, 8 out of 10. Technical execution, 6 out of 10. Acting, 6 out of 10. Does it make sense? 10 out of 10. It's not the laugh out loud that Jason X was, but it's close. Biggest complaint? Some of the effects they used intended for dramatic effect are just annoying to the eyes. If you've made it all the way to the end, good job. Next time, 2016.